I have some internet connection problem. I'm on my phone. Sorry. Hi.
Hi, hi.
No worries. Okay, we'll
Okay,
start now.
great.
Good.
Awesome.
One
Adi,
thing
do you have any introduction, or shall I just,
I will do it just briefly the technical setup, and then you're free to talk because we're all here to listen to you, of course.
all right.
So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first ABSL HR Club in this year's edition, hosted by Popcorn Recruiters. I'm really glad to say that today we are joined by ABSL partners. Since last year, it's Authority Partners. And in the name of API, joining us today will be Amila Kurtović, Talent Manager, and from the Talent Department at Authority Partners, actually a very good expert when it comes to mental health and psychology in general, I must say, even though she'll partially disagree, I think. And today with us from Popcorn Recruiters is Shayla Hairic. So Shayla, I'll give the floor to you to address our audience just very quickly. But before you start, I will say the technical setup. So feel free to keep your microphones muted during our event. And if you have a question for the upcoming Q&A, you can write it down in our chat room, and we'll make sure that in case Amila can't get the opportunity to answer all the questions, to answer them via email in the upcoming days. And of course, you can text us on all our ABSL social media channels if you have any additional questions, comments, feedbacks are always welcome, I must say. And the last brief note before we start with Shayla and Amila, this event, since it's a public one, is being recorded for the purpose of our ABSL clubs and events archive, and it will be published on ABSL YouTube channel and promoted through ABSL and Authority Partners social media and Popcorn Recruiters as well. So for any additional questions, please use the chat. And Shayla, you're free to introduce us. Amila, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adi, for the lovely introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Shayla, and I would like to thank you all for coming today. I'm a recruitment marketing specialist at Popcorn Recruiters, and I would just like to steal a few minutes of your time to tell you something about us before I give the floor to Amila. So Popcorn Recruiters is a recruitment and staffing provider. So in other words, we help companies find top talent and grow their teams, whether it's in their local offices or internationally. We specialize in IT recruitment, so we help grow IT teams, but we're also quite experienced with filling business roles, such as accounting, HR, customer support, administration, and so on. When it comes to our clients and our partners, we have a very diverse portfolio, and we worked with some local companies and also with international companies. And when it comes to their size, they range from startups, scale ups to global enterprises. So, what does Popcorn have to do with ABSL and HR Club? We are one of the founding companies that initiated the creation, the establishment of ABSL here in our region. So we make sure to follow all the common practices and established practices of ABSL in other countries, such as Poland, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and so on. And when it comes to our HR club, we really strive to promote and share knowledge. So we decided to organize 4 of these events during the year, where we aim to present some exciting trends, practices, and of course, speakers that help companies, grow and optimize their processes. So today we're talking about mental health and some HR practices, but in the future you can expect us to touch upon topics such as talent management, trends in talent acquisition, community management, some best practices for employee reward systems, and so on. And I won't steal your time anymore. I leave the floor to our Amila.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Shayla.
much. Thank you both. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Shayla. And thank you all for joining this event. And Again, thank you to ABSL, to Popcorn Recruiters for inviting me and having me today to share my thoughts about how to handle employees' mental health in challenging times such as COVID is, and to talk about the remote work and HR practices in hybrid environment in general. So some of you know me, some of you have worked with me, some of you are still working with me. But for those of you who don't know me, I am Amila Kurtović, and in HR world, I'm about 15 years right now, and in IT industry for 5 years. And I am leading the talent management team of 8 amazing people here at Authority Partners and driving the talent management initiatives on the strategic level. And I'm also a product owner of HR modules that we are developing in our company. Apart from work, I love to travel. I love to hike. I love to spend time in nature. And it's just, you know, the way of how I refuel myself. Nature is the thing for me. Okay, so as the head of talent management department at Authority Partners, I'll be obviously sharing some best practices on the mentioned topics today, reflecting on how we do things here at Authority Partners. And before we start, I would like to share my screen, obviously first. That's something that I need to do. And then I would like to show you a short video about who we are and what we do. So let's hope this goes well. If not, then I will do it like so. All right. Tell me if you can hear the video.
Partners. We are recognized for unique philosophy to be the authority in creating information technology excellence and one of the most valuable partners to our clients. Our story starts in '98 in the US, when a small team of developers set out to build the best IT solutions globally. The AP is an ideal global partner for European and North American businesses. We poise ourselves to cherry-pick the best talent globally and can deliver impact and transformation to our client partners around the clock. AP has established a long-term strategic plan to mark the step forward in our journey to success. We choose to define ourselves by our integrity, devotion to client partners, and agile approach to implementation. Our mission is to inspire and enable our consultants to create excellence in technology solutions, growing together with our clients on the path to success. Our consultants are familiar with every level of your business. The result is an agile approach to customized solutions that builds customer loyalty, increases efficiency, and transforms your business. We help our clients deliver superior business solutions through our know-how in software methodologies and architectural design principles. We have developed a transparent work methodology that ensures delivery of the highest quality products while remaining with the set budget plan. AP boasts years of experience across multiple industries. We build reliable and long-term partnerships with our clients by providing solutions that meet their needs. The same entrepreneurial spirit remains in our DNA today as when we started consulting many years ago. Have a project you would like to work together on? Drop us a note or give us a call. We are happy to answer all your questions. Let us take you on a journey to the next level of excellence.
All right, so we are back. With this video, I just wanted you to have a better perspective of what sort of company we are. And
good morning, my name is Kira
Just
Burke
a
and I'm
moment
here today to
to-
talk to you about how to set up a retail business and things.
Okay, I'm back. The YouTube went crazy. So I basically wanted us to have a better perspective of what sort of company we are and what size of a company we are. It will just be easier for us to follow the presentation today. So I've decided to drive today's presentation first by reflecting on some initiatives that we had introduced in times of pandemic in our company. And I know that Adi, you've mentioned that we will have the Q&A session at the end, but I will stop after the first topic and just kind of ask you if you have some comments or you would like to drop some questions so that we can, touch upon that related to the first topic. And then I will talk about the hybrid and remote work model that we have going on in our company right now. And again, open the floor to some questions and comments that you might have. And then, of course, at the end, we will, conclude with some space for questions, comments, and everything there. And if we do not have time for you to answering your questions, I will be glad to do that after via email. Okay, so one more note. If you hear me saying the term of consultants throughout the presentation, do not get confused because that's how we call our employees in our AP dictionary. Okay, so AP was growing rapidly just before the COVID hit. And even though our organization was having remote employees at the moment, and we were designing our processes to support our global growth, it felt we needed to slow down a bit to adjust to this new situation of pandemic and to adopt our management style accordingly. But for AP, it was not possible because we did not stop growing. And in 2020, we grew by 125 employees worldwide. And all that, while coping with the COVID and stressful times of pandemic and switching our model of work to work from home, yeah, it was all happening at the same time. And why I'm stressing this out is because for us, throughout the 2020 and 2021, it was not only coping with the COVID situation and this new way of and this new work model, but we also were coping and keeping up with our global growth. So much support, creative support from the HR side was needed. So in March 2020, the whole company, and it was back then 325 employees, we went to work from home in one day. I'm sure the same thing happened to you. But although the concept of virtual workspace was, growing steadily in our company for years, and we were kind of ready for this shift, we were not ready for the shift of transferring 100% to work from home suddenly. But as many companies, we needed to quickly adopt this new work from home model using all sorts of methods, such as video calls, virtual meeting platforms, providing remote working technology to employees, and many more, just to keep our operations going and going as smooth as possible. But at the end, we are humans and we are social creatures, and social isolation can lead to feelings of restlessness, stress, anxiety, even anger. Simply, it influences our mental health, right? So that's why our talent management department, along with the whole management, was on the spotlight to remodel and reshape our management style, just to keep our people happy, engaged, and productive. And care about their wealth and about their well-being and mental health was, of course, one of our highest priorities at the time. And to be honest, at the time, as in any other situation of uncertainty and lack of control, we needed to react fast and did not have much time to pilot any initiatives before launching them as we usually would. Things were being introduced fast, and the whole management was ready for that. So we were ready on that way of doing things. So the cooperation between the departments needed to be on top. And I must say it still is. So yeah, after some times also we decided to conduct a survey company-wide, to get a better insight and perspective on the challenges that our employees are facing in times of pandemic, in order to provide a better support and to align our management efforts accordingly. So all in all, if we could sum up the initiatives and efforts that we took and are still kind of taking to assure the well-being and feeling of security and safety of our employees in times of COVID, I would say these would be the top four. So the first one is communication, right? So it's very important to communicate in the right way throughout any sort of situation, uncertain situations such as COVID and pandemic was. Leaders must provide frequent updates to ensure that everybody in the organization is up to date. This was especially important during the crisis of COVID, when we had all sorts of numbers rising and new statistics. So we needed to provide some safety guidelines and being on top of things and making our people in the organization know that we care about their health and their well-being in this matter. So the CEO of our company was sending a bi-weekly email to all employees sharing helpful information, but without oversharing, because we really didn't want to bomb our employees with all sorts of information that they're already bombed from the outside world. So we wanted to be as concrete as possible, providing as useful information as possible. And these letters from the CEO were about the about the status of business operations and companies' operations in general, but always having the caring note and invitation for open communication in case some of the employees needed this kind of support. We wanted them to feel safe, and we wanted to open this channel of communication to them, to the upper management directly, because maintaining transparency throughout the crisis with frequent updates is the ultimate expression of good faith, empathy, and genuine concern for your team. And we believe that truthful communication builds trust, and in times of uncertainty, trust is basically everything. So this is what we wanted to achieve. What else? We were sharing information related to pandemic and well-being in general. So our department, in collaboration with communications department, was sharing all sorts of useful information and tips related to handling stressful situations and how to boost mental health. So in our monthly newsletter, we have introduced a whole new section oriented towards well-being. We called it even well-being of our consultants. So we needed to, upgrade our newsletter as one of the main communication channels internally, to kind of provide as much as information possible to our consultants regarding anything related to pandemic, but also related to their well-being, and just kind of wanting them to feel less stressful and secure. And we also had these frequent all hands meetings with the management. So these meetings were held with the teams. This was an online meeting, obviously, where the whole team is present and listens to hot topics related to the program that they are working on, and some future plans, and some past achievements, some information that might be related to the clients that are working with us, because this time brings also some uncertainty there as well. So we wanted to share that with our consultants, just for them to feel informed. And also on these meetings, we wanted to open some door for further discussion about any topics that might be in their interest. And to encourage our managers, we encouraged also our managers to stay in regular touch with their teams, because sociometric research proves that shorter communication cycle are more effective in building a sustainable morale and engagement in any organization. So we promoted using instant messaging to stay in regular contact with our consultants. And these daily check-ins and daily checkups were not that challenging for us, I must say, because we have this Scrum way of organizing our work, and we have these regular morning scrums that serve us as a regular check-in. But still, we wanted to encourage our managers to have this continuous communication with consultants throughout the day by short calls, short even video calls, and short messages, just to say hi and see how they were doing. And the last thing that I will mention in this communication segment is like we wanted to also have an informal way of communicating with our consultants, but again with the upper management. So we introduced this initiative called Online Coffee with Management. Hereby, we wanted to create more space, like I said, for dialogue and to address any questions and concerns regarding the pandemic situation, but any other situation as well that might be in their interest. So this was like an informal way of communicating with the management of the company, where we would have this virtual coffee together in a friendly atmosphere, sharing the upsides and downsides when working from home, some exciting ideas, plans and thoughts. People would share some facts about how it is to work with your kids at home, and how they transfer their living space into their workspace, and all sorts of things that they openly share with the management. So we kind of bonded more informally on these meetings. Okay, so communication was definitely and still is everything. Then education. One of our core values is growth and development, and this one is an important one for us. So online education had our focus all the time. And I will talk about this in the second part of the presentation, but for the purpose of how we manage the well-being of our consultants, our employees, we organized workshops for employees. We were continuously raising awareness about the mental health and its importance, by organizing these workshops, targeted workshops, seminars, and training programs. And we have this initiative called Soft Thursday. This is how we call our internal meetup, focused on soft skills, and it's obviously happening on Thursdays. So we used to organize, targeted webinars, which were open to questions on how to work from home efficiently, and how to reduce stress while doing so. But we didn't forget about our management. So as the pressure is on the management to boost morale and encourage mind positive virtual workspace company-wide, we wanted also to provide, we organized trainings for our management. And it was basically done on the topic on how to towards the topics were oriented towards leadership methods in time of uncertainty, and followed by many more workshops also on the topics to help them cope with the new situation, and to have to make our management team grow as well. Okay, so we also had some counseling. Hereby we mean psychological counseling, as we were aware that not everything can be handled by our department only. So we as HR are not mental health and wellness experts in that sense. So we decided to engage psychotherapists and offer an open line to our employees to help them with stress management during this period. And this intervention was a free and confidential assessment, or short-term counseling and follow-up service for those experiencing mental health issues. And this is a service or offering that we were promoting on all levels company-wide, offering to all employees in our company. And we really, by doing this, we really wanted to make it crystal clear that we do care about our team members, and we care about their well-being in the organization. And then we also had some stress boosting initiatives. Staying connected and bringing some positivity into our virtual workspace helps relieve some of the anxiety and tension that our team members are likely feeling at home. So our employees want and need to feel connected to a community at this time, and we wanted to have some laughs and to ease the uncertainty and this period that we were faced with. This all, of course, positively supports the mental health and well-being of our employees. So we decided to introduce some nice and fun initiatives company-wide, starting with the fun teams that we created, fun team groups that we created in our MS Teams. So we had made these 5 groups available for all consultants to help their time, quarantine time at this moment, very interesting, and to possibly socialize with other AP colleagues. So how did it work? So basically we created these 5 groups with certain topics such as gamers, work from homers, AP readers, the family fun group, and athletes. And we invited the whole company to join all the groups at the same time. It was, I guess, one Tuesday that we introduced this. So basically, they joined and they were asked to leave if the group was not in their field of interest, if they didn't want to participate in any discussions regarding these topics that we shared. And yeah, here they had, the opportunity to chat around, how they were organizing their workstations at home and what their outfits were while working from home, how do they prepare their lunch meals at home. That was, of course, going on with the work from homers group. In the family fun group, parents were asked to share some useful ideas on how to keep their children busy while they were working. So yeah, all sorts of fun things that were offered to our consultants for discussion and to just keep them keep their work fun and yeah, leisure. Okay, so what else did we do? We wanted our consultants to stay fit. So when our quarantine life loosened up a bit, we decided to introduce some initiatives and challenges to keep our consultants moving and staying fit. So we decided to launch a step challenge initiatives where our employees could take participation by counting steps and of course win great prizes. And also we had running challenge as well. This was really fun to see how consultants from all around the world are participating and competing against each other in this challenge, and they were submitting their steps, how much steps they make throughout the day, throughout the week. Furthermore, we decided to transfer our yoga classes that we used to have on site, so we transferred them online. And yeah, it was also available for all consultants to join these sessions. We used to have them throughout the breaks, lunch breaks, and in the morning. So we also encouraged our employees to share some eat well balanced meal recipes and to share some healthy recipes in also using these groups. So we just wanted to have them to have this mindset of even though it's COVID time, it's quarantine time, we want people to keep themselves moving and to eat well. And yeah, we are an IT community, right? So it means that we are also gamer community as well. And that's why we chose to organize a gaming tournament for our employees. It was a Counter-Strike tournament, so our employees worldwide divided themselves into groups and competed in Counter-Strike against each other. Of course, the end goal was to win some valuable prizes and to have some fun. So all of these initiatives related to stress boosting were therapeutic in a way and promoted mental well-being. Exercising, of course, reduces elevated cholesterol levels, the body's primary stress hormone, and it also releases, endorphins, so the happiness hormone, so which at the end helps us counter stress and anxiety. And yoga helps us balance our mind as well. So yeah, these are all kind of initiatives that we wanted to our consultants to participate in. So I try to sum up all the main initiatives that we undertook under these challenging times to ensure that the well-being of our employees is there. There are, of course, many more things that we did and we are still doing. And I must say that we are still learning to adapt to this new situation, a new normal. Yesterday it was COVID, today it's some war in Ukraine. So we really are, on spot to invent some interesting ways on how to, cope with the stress that the world is introducing us to, and to manage it well in the company that we are in. So I just want to stop for a minute right now just to see like whether you have any questions or comments or thoughts that you want to share, or maybe you have also some useful practices and experiences in your company that you would like to share related to this topic. So if yes, then please raise your hand. If no, then I guess we can continue. Hi, Aishen.
Hi, I think I just a little bit missed it about the yoga classes. We already again started, or this is like a new thing again, like start again, or
Yeah,
this-
we have introduced yoga classes, and it's ongoing in our company. So I guess the invite will be provided to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. So I guess we can go further with this hybrid environment and remote work. Okay, so we got used to our new normal and adopted amazingly good to our virtual workspace. And then the COVID situation loosened up, and we needed to decide on what model to use for our technology centers in Irvine, Sarajevo, and Istanbul, as we have our offices based on those three locations. And before thinking about re-entry at scale, we wanted to understand where our people were mentally and prepare accordingly. Maybe for some will be enthusiastic about returning to the office, while others will not want to return fully back yet. Still, others may want to re-enter in theory, but worry about risks to the health of themselves and the safety of their loved ones. So to get a better picture of what's happening in our organization, we did a quick survey in 2021 and found out that 78 of our consultants who participated in the survey would like their job less if the option to work from home was taken from them. And 78% of the survey participants felt more productive when working from home. Apart from that, we also had our managers talk to their team members on all three locations where we have our technology centers, and ask them to gather feedback about the same topic and ask people like what would they like, how would they like to approach, or what would they like? Would they like to come to the office more, or would they like to stay working from home? And we asked them to come back with the suggestions to us. And based on all gathered feedback, we decided to support the hybrid model of working and offer to our employees the possibility to choose whether to work from home or from the office on these locations. Okay, so what does this hybrid work involve? What is the hybrid work model? So it involves being in the office sometimes and working remotely at other times, as well as having some folks working fully remote and other fully in the office. So it's like a mixture of both worlds, so to say. Okay, so we are global, like I said, a global fast-growing company with employees working remotely from all around the world in this hybrid work environment. Sounds fancy and easy, right? But when it comes to company's culture and this remote model of work, I must say it's not easy sometimes. And this is the challenging part when you operate in this work environment and setup. But it's also a big opportunity, right? It's just our reality right now and our future. And when operation in a world of fast changes, and when you're adopting your company's management style to these changes all the time while keeping up with the company's growth, as an HR person, you must certainly feel overwhelmed because the conventional HR policies, procedures, processes that you have all going on in your company right now need to be adopted and at all times, and it needs to happen fast. And all of this is, influencing our company's culture, taking care of the existing employees, getting them on board with all the changes that are occurring along the way, and at the same time, successfully onboarding the new arrivals and taking care of them as they are freshly introduced to our company and its culture. So what is culture? Even though the company culture might seem like an impossible thing sometimes to define, I would say it refers to the collective attitudes, values, and behaviors running through your company. And it reflects in the way of how we make decisions and how we communicate and how we behave and how we reorganize employees. It's about employees' day-to-day experience with their work, team, and organization. So I don't think about culture as a separate initiative. It's just, it's all connected to employee strategies like engagement, performance, development, and onboarding, of course. So when it comes to our approach here, we needed to decide on, what elements of our culture before the pandemic and before this way of working we wanted to keep, and what elements of our culture we want to shed and maybe do differently to become even a better global employer. So let me first talk about the engagement, how to engage our people in the remote world equally as we would when meeting in person. And on the meetings or any sort of gatherings that we might have. So management and HR needs to be more planful here, especially when it comes to engaging people in online meetings. In order to engage people in all sorts of online meetings, team meetings or company meetings, preparation and planning is crucial to ensure the employees' engagement. So preparing some questions to loosen up the atmosphere on the meeting, such as how was your weekend, how was your day, something that I did on the beginning of this meeting. Those sorts of starters, depending on the forum, of course, are very handy. And, joining the meetings earlier to avoid any technical challenges that might occur in this virtual workspace that we are in. It always happens when it shouldn't. So we should, just join early to avoid any kind of technical challenges. And while having this chit chat, we are, trying to create a relaxed atmosphere at the beginning of the meeting. And even if it seems like you're losing these 5 minutes at the beginning of the meeting, this really creates the feeling of connection and engagement. And people get the feeling that they are cared about and they feel more connected to the organization. So that's one thing. The second thing is that all the employees' engagement activities, such as challenges, milestone celebrations, team building parties, team buildings, parties, and all these initiatives that would engage our people cannot be neglected in this virtual workspace. So HR and managers need to be creative here as well in the remote environment. As all of these, events need to get another format. So most of our employee engagement activities needed to be switched online, especially when the whole company was working from home. And even our biggest event, which is our Outdoor Partners anniversary, was organized online 2 years in a row. And when we started this, we asked ourselves, like, how on God's earth we are going to organize an anniversary online, invite nearly 500 people at the same time, entertain them and keep their focus for more than an hour. And basically it sounded impossible, but yeah, even with this huge challenge, we made 2 successful celebrations online happen by having nearly 500 people engaged and entertained by a 2-hour-long fun content. And of course, HR and communications department at our company were the ones who were driving the organization of this big event, but we needed to engage some external vendors to provide us technical support here. And also as a company who values team building and team gatherings very much at the time, and at the same time being global, we are encouraging virtual team building options. It sounds difficult to connect and engage people virtually, but it's not impossible. And these team buildings require definitely facilitation and can be really, really engaging and fun. We had few of these and it was definitely fun. But we also needed at one point to decide whether to gather people in our technology centers to invite them to live team buildings and parties, as the majority of our consultants are localized in these 3 locations. When of course it was kind of safe to gather and the COVID statistics were dropping, we decided to organize and start with hike and bike tours because it was done in the open air. It was motivating our people to move, and it was the ideal opportunity to explore, of course, the natural surroundings both in Sarajevo and Istanbul. And then we had also summer parties, New Year's parties in all of these 3 locations. And what else did we do and did we do to keep our people engaged? In cooperation with our managers, we launched an initiative that was oriented towards our teams. So we invited our teams to give themselves different names, carefully chosen by themselves. These could be some fun names reflecting their hobbies or characters or whatever they like, whatever connected them. And we wanted them to name their teams because our teams are a mixture of different cultures, different backgrounds, and if they were about to choose a name for themselves, it would make them feel more connected, and it will boost their engagement in all sorts of things that they are engaged with. And also we provided a tool for our managers to measure the team's health by providing a survey with the QR code to all the team members at the beginning of the meetings that they are having. Our managers were quickly able to collect some data about the team's health, how they were doing, are they learning new things, are they having fun, is their communication and collaboration within the team okay? So it allows our managers to have more, let's say, control over the team satisfaction, engagement, and overall well-being. And not to forget, we were always encouraging the cameras on policy on the meetings, because it's always nice to see our smiley faces and to see each other in this virtual workspace. So that was encouraged all the time by us. And not to forget, we were measuring our company's engagement with our employee engagement survey. And we were really delighted to see that the results did not drop. Even some categories rose in comparison with previous years when we were working solely on site. Okay, so this brings us to the second important thing that influences the culture when working in this hybrid and remote world. So before we went global as a company and before we adopted the remote hybrid work model that we are operating in today, I can say that we had a very well-designed performance management and feedback system in place. But it was done on site through live discussions, noting down the meeting notes in a pre-designed performance evaluation form, in a Word document. So as we were growing and introducing the remote model of work to our company, we needed to enhance our performance evaluation system and the way we give feedback to our consultants, to our employees. And not only that, of course, we wanted to enhance our mentorship programs as a crucial part of the onboarding process. And in 2019, we took the decision to automate these processes and to design and develop our own authority partners feedback, knowledge and performance management modules as a part of our already existing HR information system that we have, again, internally designed and developed. Why this? Well, as a global company of this size, we needed to create a supporting system to manage the performance and career of our employees in a proper way. So we launched the first feedback module in 2019, like I mentioned, and then following with the performance evaluation models in 2021. And having this in place, we are giving support to our managers to manage our employees in the right way, no matter where they are located, and even from their day one in authority partners. So being able to manage the consultants, again, I must mention this, and their performance and their careers in the right manner improves the satisfaction and builds definitely trust, especially in this remote world. And with this approach, we also wanted to give the opportunity to all the employees to share and give their feedback to anybody in the company using the same systems, which is also very useful in many ways. So basically, our managers would get then the 360 overview of the employee that they are managing, but it also gives the employee the opportunity to share feedback to the management, to any colleague in the company, using our feedback system as a communication channel. So overall, I would say how performance management system work is very dependent on many things, on your company size, on the company's culture, on the business model that you're in. But in my opinion, some structure and some system to measure appropriate performance metrics and the outcomes and outputs, it's very much needed in this area. Again, especially if you're remote, if you're working in the remote or hybrid model. Because of course, if there's no system and there's no structure around it, for some managers, it might be like, I need to see my people at their desk to see that they're actually working, or then at least I'll know that they are putting, their time into working. And of course, it's sometimes if somebody's on the desk, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily working, right? It just seems that some managers might feel the lack of control in performance management of their subordinates, and if they are not present in the office, and if they are not in front of their eyes. So having the system, the right system, and the right structured system around performance management when you're working in this hybrid remote model means a lot, and it definitely needs to be introduced if you choose to work in this model. Okay, so let us go further with the development as also an essential part of this topic. So as mentioned before, one of our core values is growth and development, and one of our core beliefs is sharing knowledge. And AP has always invested a lot in educations, trainings, and career development options. Organizing all sorts of trainings and educations monthly was just our common practice, and it still is. And as we were growing globally, we decided to put more focus and a strategic approach when it comes to educations and learning. End of 2020, we introduced a new role in our organization structure called Education Coordinator, who is also part of Talent Management Department. And this person, together with our managers and other key people, creates education plans, drives and coordinates all education and training efforts throughout our company. And when your team is remote, virtual learning tools and programs are again essential. These learning tools can be learning platforms, portals, or some centralized online database of educational materials. So again, we decided to invest in creating our own education, AP education portal that would ensure that our remote team has rich development opportunities no matter where they are located. So our education portal is basically a hub or access point where our e-learning content and resources are stored and centralized. So basically, to put it simply, it's where our employees go to access e-learning materials such as technical and soft skill trainings, videos, documentations. They can get a preview of upcoming trainings, educations, and conferences. And they can also suggest a training by themselves and apply to be the lecturer of the training that they suggested. So we chose to create our own learning platform using internal resources, but of course there are many available out there for purchase, as long as they include, free digital library and resources like books, articles, and subscriptions, videos of trainings and webinars. Yeah, and having this in place, it's especially important if you have, a mixed workforce of both in-house and remote employees. You really want to make sure that your remote employees aren't overlooked and that you offer trainings or presentations to your when you're offering trainings and presentations to your in-house teams. You shouldn't exclude your virtual participation option for all those that want to participate virtually as well. So yeah, it's very much important. And as we also have a clear defined career paths in our organization, we have also decided to create roadmaps that help our people grow and move up the ladder in their career paths that they're on. And these maps are again available on the educational portal for all employees, meaning that they can access them there, and it helps them boost their skill sets, and it helps them grow within the career paths that they're on. It all, I mean, having everything in place in regards of education and development options, it just adds on employee satisfaction and motivates them for sure to grow and to be productive and happy in your organization. A LinkedIn workplace learning report shared that research statistics, the research statistics where 94% of employees say that they would stay in a company longer if the company invested in their development and learning. And 75 of consultants would jump at the chance to learn if their managers suggested appropriate courses, targeted courses, or materials. So we cannot ignore the importance of learning nowadays when the world is changing rapidly and we are operating in this global environment. Okay, and then let us talk a bit more about the onboarding and the importance of the onboarding and how to do it right in this model that we are operating in. So onboarding is arguably one of the most important stages of the employee life cycle. And it's when you have the chance to showcase your company culture and motivate your own employees to do the best work possible. And a robust virtual onboarding process does not only set your new hires up for success, but it also shows that to your current employees that your organization can adapt to the new normal and is there to support its employees from the day one in the company. So how to do it right? I would say planning is everything. Before the new hire's first day, we must have clear process for everything that needs to happen throughout the onboarding period to ensure that the best onboarding experience to the newbies is provided. And of course, communicate with all necessary departments and have everything set and prepared for the first week and the first month on their job. We need to remember that we won't be at the office where people can point them in the right direction, walking around showing where everything is. And of course we want at the same time for our new hires to feel we don't want them to feel lost, and we don't want them to refresh their mailbox every 5 minutes looking for next steps. So we decided, or we are preparing like a decent mentorship plan available online again on our platforms, on our authority partners knowledge management system, where we have these mentorship plans containing exact steps for the first 30, 60, and 90 days of the employment. And this plan is created by the mentor and the new hires manager, depending, of course, always on the career path that they are coming to. And it's very much transparent and visible at all times to all the parties involved in the onboarding process. As apart from the well-designed and explained mentorship plan, we need to have all needed educational materials stored online in one place. It should be easy accessible for our mentees. And easy searchable. So that is why we have established a centralized location for onboarding materials within our company, and we've named it Knowledge Base. Here, all sorts of materials, videos, workflows can be found, and this definitely will make life easier for our new arrivals, but also to our mentors and managers. And there's, of course, a set of information that is being shared by the talent management department before the start date, a list of policies, procedures that the new hires need to acknowledge before they join our company. We want to assure that the login credentials are well distributed and are at hand. Just to kind of have, you know, this first day as comfortable as possible. And these introduction meetings with HR, I would say, are the key. Unfortunately, we can't provide new employees with that walk tour through the office that we used to do with all employees when we were working on site. That is why we need to invest sometimes into stimulating the same experience when onboarding our new arrivals, and present our company culture in the best possible way. And of course, here we are not alone. We have our mentors who are also crucial in this part as well. And that's why we are selecting them carefully. And to assure that all main parties in the onboarding process are well informed about the do's and don'ts, we also release some short videos that we provide every time to our mentees, mentors, and supervisors about the importance of their role in the whole process. So yeah, that's something that we also use as, let's say, an educational material. And of course, at the end, to check how our mentees are doing, talent management reaches out to them after 1 month and gathers the feedback about their first days at AP, but also after the mentorship finishes, they receive the onboarding experience survey that serves us as a source of information on how to improve the process even more. And so far, we are doing really good. The onboarding experience rate is above 4.5, second year in a row, and the maximum rate is 5. So here, luckily, we are succeeding to do good. Well, to kind of conclude this, so I think that the human connection and the human touch is, of course, very important, and that we are humans after all. But personally, I've formed so many relationships with colleagues in my company that I've never met in my life in person. And we are collaborating and creating some great stuff together. So it's possible to create excellence in this hybrid and remote work environment such as ours is. But it definitely needs some adoption, and it definitely needs, you know, some creative work from, especially from the HR side in the company and from the management. And yeah, this was COVID. Who knows what else can come? But the hybrid and remote model definitely can function smoothly and can be, you know, can be managed in the right way. So I guess that's it from my side. I'm not sure if we're in the time frame. I would say yes, it's 12 p.m. So I guess I can stop sharing my screen and maybe open a platform for questions and comments.
Thank you, Amila. Once again, it was so impressive to listen to you and to actually get to know the culture that you're nurturing at Authority Partners a bit better. We see a lot of things on social media that you're doing. We get to see the employees talking about well-being, but such an insightful presentation can only be done by someone like you coming from the internal story. And Amina says a good job. I couldn't agree more.
Thank
You
you.
once again. I would like now to open up the platform for questions or feedbacks. Don't be shy. We accept them through
Yeah,
chat.
and
You don't have to turn
I'm
on the
really
camera.
looking forward to hear other experiences. If there's something to, mention from the best practices from your companies, I'm really eager to hear about how you were managing or some initiatives that you were introducing.
If the audience is shy, I have actually one question.
Okay.
At the beginning of every year, ABSL does a big all members survey, and such surveys are being concluded like 2 or 3 times per year to be used for events, for annual report, and general research when it comes to members' collaborations and ABSL International. So one question that actually came up in the research conducted in January between our member companies is what do we do if someone neglects the help? Because you said you also had contact and collaboration with psychotherapists in times of COVID, but did you had like a case that someone is neglecting help even though he or her needs it in the work environment, especially in times of COVID and in times of all the challenges that happened?
Well, to be honest, thank you, Ali, for your question. To be honest, we didn't have such a situation here at Authority Partners, but people are, reluctant to help even though they might need it, and it's obvious they are needing it. So the approach that we are taking when when we as managers, as HR sense that somebody, is feeling stressed, we really need to have this open communication and to, just admit that, okay, it's stressful times. We are all in together in this situation. It's not only you. Just to kind of, open the floor and to give the sense of the sense that we care and that we want that person to open up, and that's the maximum that we can do. We can open, our channels, and we can offer help. But again, if somebody is, neglecting help, and if somebody doesn't want to get help, it makes it hard to move forward. So I would just say, like, if that is happening in your companies, like, reach out if you're detecting that somebody needs or requests help. Just open channels, be human, be humble, and talk, and, try to be empathic, try to get in their shoes and see what they're going through, and what's happening there. Is it work? Is it private life? Is it what is making these difficulties at the moment? And try to support and understand that. And of course, if you can support it in a way to give some extra hours, 3 days, whatever the person needs to get well, to get back on track. So I think that's the maximum that we can do.
Thank you. I would use a popular meme these days. The employee must be healthy. So thank you very much, Amila. It was really insightful. And if in case we don't have any questions, I would use the opportunity to also say and express that ABSL is organizing our annual conference for the second time on May 26th. And actually, talent management, a part where Authority Partners is also participating together with us, is a huge topic. So I would encourage every one of you today present, because I assume most of you are HR professionals, to join us at the conference to meet not only Amila, but also brilliant colleagues of hers from Authority Partners, to hear more insights, not only about their company culture, but also possible solutions to problems with talent management, talent scarcity, and how will we work in the future? Because I think it's a question everyone asks themselves on a daily basis. Because as you said, Amila, COVID happened. We actually don't know and can't predict what's going to happen next. Possibly and hopefully nothing as stressful as COVID, but we have to be prepared. So join us on May 26th. We are looking forward to it. And this recording will be available on our social media channels. So in case you missed something, you can watch it, give feedback, and ask also questions. We're available. Thank you once again.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Adi. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.